Hey guys, welcome back to Clownfish TV. This is Neon. I am here with Geeky Sparkles.
Hello.
And we're going to talk about Marvel's lowered expectations, lowered standards for covers, and some unintentional backlash toward the artist of this cover, because this was never meant to be a cover.
A cover, right. You have to understand the whole story. This is not, if it would have been a cover, they would have put a hell of a lot more effort into it.
So we're going to talk about this because this is another example of Disney and Marvel kind of cheaping out, and unfortunately the freelancer has to pick up the pieces. This is the cover for the, let's see, Edge of Spider-Verse Spider UK, and now this is what the character actually looks like in the comics, which is more in line with Marvel. This was actually a very quick sketch the artist did. Apparently Marvel paid her $100 for this sketch. They threw it on the cover of a comic. She didn't realize it was going to be on the cover of the comic, and now she's getting all kinds of backlash for it. So, $100.
Right.
I'm appalled. I'm like, wait, this is Marvel, Disney-owned Marvel Comics, paying $100 for a cover. Like,
yeah.
that's
and it wasn't even told. Their artist wasn't even told it was a cover. They thought they were designing an outfit or something.
Yeah, so let's talk about this before we get into it any further. Please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants, guys. Over 273,000 subs. Thank you for the support. Greatly appreciated. Go to clownfishtv.com for more pop culture news that's not in videos. Let's talk about this. I got to give a hat tip to Sarah, who actually did some digging and found out what the whole story was here. Because I saw this art going around, like, my God, what is up with this?
Well, the thing is, people are believing it because we've seen the interior of some of these books as of late.
Yeah.
And sometimes the art, this is actually an improvement on some of the art you'll see. And the thing is,
some of the stuff lately at Marvel's been really iffy.
And this isn't even that terrible. It's just that it's clearly just a quick something. It wasn't like a finished.
Yeah.
It's not what you'd expect on a cover.
No.
Okay. It's not slamming the artist. I'm just saying you'd expect this on the cover.
Yeah, this is a little more in line, although the torso is a little long here. But I mean, look, they had some different covers, and they do variant covers all the time because that's how they artificially inflate the numbers, the sales numbers, with multiple covers here. But this was interesting. The Beat had a whole story on it like a week ago that Zoe Thorogood was doing the cover. Well, Zoe Thorogood has had to deal with a lot of backlash because she did not realize that her design, her quick sketch, was going to be thrown on the cover of a Marvel comic, and she only got paid like $100 for it.
Right. And for $100, you're not thinking it's going on a cover.
No.
So here's what happened.
Here's her story. Recently, I've been getting hate regarding Spider UK. I think people are being purposefully obtuse about it, but I'm going to try to explain. Marvel paid me for a sketch at a sketch rate, so I delivered a sketch. It was not cover art. I did not know it was going to be cover art. That is concerning. Because that actually does line up more with Disney, the way that Disney does comics and Disney comics, than it does how Marvel traditionally used to do things. This is like they'll do things on the cheap, and when you get paid for it, they own it lock, stock, barrel. Doesn't matter, It was concept art, design work. That $100 or so I got paid went mostly into design and not art.
So basically, she designed the character look?
Design the character, yeah. If you don't like the design, that's fine. It's subjective, but people bashing me as an artist for a design sketch thinking it's cover art is, well, upsetting.
I get that. I mean, because it wasn't their choice to put it on the cover. They just did a quick sketch, they did a design, and then, just threw the body in there like, yeah.
Yeah, I'm personally happy with the design and don't care it's being used as a cover. I just want to focus on doing what I do best, which is making comics. Thanks.
So people think that they're not very good artists
because it's a sketch. Yeah. So if you go through her timeline, you'll see that she's got some better art than what was posted. Oh, hey. There we go.
This is the way.
But I think what concerns me is that this does seem to be a trend with Marvel now, that they are cheaping out on art. I mean, we're seeing a lot of stuff that looks copy paste. We're seeing a lot of people working on Marvel Comics now that I'm not trying to be a jerk at all, because I'm not the best artist in the world. But we see people that do what would have been considered amateur art or, webcomic type art or, Tumblr type art getting jobs at Marvel.
Okay, look, I'm an art teacher. I'm going to say it. I've seen some of the pieces I've seen where I've seen better work out of kids in high school. And I'm sorry, I'm not trying to be mean. It might be offensive to kids in high school. But I'm just saying, there are some times I'm seeing art and it does look like it's not the quality one would expect in a comic done by a main publishing house like Marvel or DC. And I don't care if it sounds mean. I'm not making fun of people specifically. I'm just saying that there's a level that you have to be at. I've been to portfolio reviews with you.
Yeah.
And I can tell you, Neon can outdraw that. He can do the Marvel characters and do it on our stuff. And they would tell him he wasn't good enough. And, he was significantly better than some of these people. And and he would even tell you he probably wasn't good enough. The thing is, what they were looking for and the quality and the level of expertise they wanted is nowhere represented in some of those books.
Yeah, now this is like Marvel level art.
Yeah, this is great. This is what you'd expect.
Yeah, this is what you'd expect. But we've seen a lot of Marvel comics, and we've done videos on it before, like issues of Captain Marvel, and you can kind of tell where the budget's going, because it seems like a lot of books, like the Captain Marvel.
Captain Marvel's what I was thinking of. It's all the Wonder Woman's, which is DC.
Yeah, the America Chavez. They've had like major editorial mistakes. They've had. I've seen Marvel panels where the tails of the word balloons were actually crossing, which is like a huge no-no in comics. You never cross the tails. You don't cross the stream, but you don't cross the tails either. And just it feels like, in general, that there's nobody steering the ship at Marvel, because they used to have editorial oversight over editorial oversight and people who gave a shit about the comics. Now we have a lot of people working at Marvel that are just getting a paycheck, and not even a very good paycheck. And they clearly don't like their job. They're clearly not putting effort into it. I mean, many, many, many editorial mistakes that should have been caught. And again, this is a company owned by Disney, and they just don't give a shit, anymore for the most part. It depends on the individual teams or the editors or whatever. But, people saw this and they're thinking, well, this is about par for the course, Marvel now, because it is believable, because the precedent's been set that they'll do art that's not finished. They'll do it.
And this artist is like, I was just hired to give a concept art out, design for this character.
Yeah.
And I wasn't hired to make it like look good or do the art really well. It was just a concept design, $100 for sketch rate.
But $100 for Marvel, and this is a character that potentially they could put in cartoons. They could make action figures of. They could make action figures based on her design. Right. They gave her $100 for that.
Yeah, well, she accepted it too, though.
Yeah, but that's it.
Her point is that everybody's like harassing her because her art. They think her art sucks, and she's like, "But I didn't do a finished piece for a cover. I did a sketch that was a design, a concept art sketch, and concept art sketches are usually quick and things like that. You might have put more thought into how you're going to make the outfit look, but the rest of it you're just going to,
Yeah, it doesn't have to be. The muscles don't have to be.
It's clearly a concept art. Look, and I don't hate it. I don't know why people don't like it. I think it actually is kind of cool. I actually like this outfit.
Design's not. I mean, it's not a bad design. If I'm being objective here, it's not a bad design. But I'm like, I mean, it's just kind of like, this is Marvel. Actually, Marvel put her in the crosshairs.
Right, they did it to her.
By doing this, because she wasn't even aware that this is going to be on the cover. Now she's like, well, I don't really regret it, but there's a lot of...
Well, now she's getting harassed.
Now she's getting harassed over it. And again...
Don't harass her. It's not her fault.
Again, people have certain expectations for Marvel and DC books are frankly held to a higher standard, or have been historically.
Right.
I don't know why people are still doing that, but they've been held to a higher standard than indie. Like a lot of the art that people are looking at in Marvel and DC, and they'd be like, what the hell is this? If it were like Oni or IDW or Boom or something, it'd be like, oh, okay.
Okay, because it's indie.
It's an indie book. Whatever. But again, Marvel and DC historically have had really top shelf artwork, the best of the best work for those companies, and that does not seem to be the case anymore. No. They're just like, we'll just, whatever. We'll just run with whatever. We'll even take a sketch she threw together on the back of a napkin. We'll publish it as a cover. Mm-hmm. Give her $100 and let her deal with all the social media fallout.
Yeah. And it's not even based on the outfit. I think it's based on the fact that, look, why would you put this on a cover?
It looks unfinished, yeah.
And then they're like, oh, you paid another artist a bunch of money. No, that's not what happened here. Marvel kind of did another shitty thing.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry, people were expecting this kind of art on a cover.
I don't think anybody's...
Even the interior is better than that cover.
Yeah, the interior is not bad. I mean, the design
How many hours did it take this artist? And how much did they get paid?
Yeah, they got paid substantially more.
And they knew it was going inside a book, so they took their time.
Yeah.
And they had a colorist come in, an inker, and all that. This is just one person doing a quick design sketch. They did not know it was going to go on the cover of a book. And it's, again, Marvel's kind of shafting people. It's a shocker there.
Well, they're probably being told to save money. I mean, if I had to guess, I mean, I don't have anybody over at Marvel that talks to us, right? But if I had to guess, given the way Disney is right now, given the way Chapek is right now, and the fact that they had Joe Quesada get gone just a month or two ago, if I had to guess, I'm going to say that they're probably being told to pinch as many pennies as they possibly can.
Given the way the book looked on the inside, or that's whatever, I'm more inclined to think they had something else lined up for somebody else to do it, and they didn't come through, so they had to hurry up and put something on it.
I don't know. Or they might have just put that in there, the cover I would put in the interior and say, here's the original design of the character or whatever. Mm-hmm. But, they're just clearly Marvel's just like, I don't know. And again, it's just about shitting out as many covers as you possibly can.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3. How many covers do they have? Yeah. So this is what they do. But the fact that people thought that this was how the book looked, is very telling. Because again, we've gone there with them before.
We've seen it look like this on the inside. Yeah.
I mean, when they're putting out comics like this, again, if it were an indie book, it would get a pass. But it's a Marvel book.
We're not trying to make fun of this artist.
No.
I mean, go them for getting through.
Yeah.
You wouldn't, not trying to be a bitch, but you wouldn't have 10, 15 years ago.
Yeah.
And I'm not trying to be mean. I'm really not. I'm just being honest. And people are like, you're horribly mean. No, it's my job. I'm an art teacher. It's my job to critique things and make people do better.
She gets on me all the time too.
I do. And you know what? I'll tell you a funny story. I'd get on him all the time about stuff that he had wrong, and he would ignore me and not listen to me. And he'd be like, yeah, right, honey, whatever. And then he'd go show the stuff to editors at portfolio reviews, and every time, everything I told him he needed to fix that he didn't fix, they pointed out and said that needed fixed. Isn't that true?
Yeah. But that was back when they had higher standards.
He listens to me now.
So, I don't know, guys. I feel bad for the artist getting caught up, and this is all because Marvel wanted to cheap out,
And for $100 sketch, that's not too bad. But it's it was never meant to be a cover.
No, it was never meant to be. I'm just shocked that, again, Marvel... I shouldn't be, because we were seeing that they're giving people $5,000 for coming up with billion-dollar ideas. But
it's very clear that most of the time was spent on the outfit. The heads were just thrown on,
Yeah, it's like fashion.
Like a fashion plate.
Anyway, so that's the story going on. I'm not going to sit here and be like, this is what Marvel's come to. It's like, no, they basically they shouldn't have done that, I don't think, or they should have told her, hey, this is going to be on the cover.
Or give her an opportunity to redo it in a cover-worthy piece.
Right.
And pay her the cover-worthy rate.
Pay her a cover rate, too. $100. So anyway, we're going to wrap this one up.
Yep.
Please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants, guys. We'll talk later.
Bye.